Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Understand we're going to take, which cases do you need, Miss McLeod?
I have Mr. Lewis, Your Honor.
Just one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I thought when they let me know something, I thought you had a lot.
No, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to accommodate her schedule. Can we take Mr. Lewis first, jail? After I give my opening and be ready for him.
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
number is that?
Who is Lewis?
Name is Louis Wright.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Lewis,
Oh.
right. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Wait a
Lewis,
minute.
right. Mr. Wright.
Okay. Right, that's number 15.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, everyone. Good afternoon. We're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested. Excuse me. This is a calendar for cases or persons who have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and these cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before state court judge, so we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, or consideration of a possible plea offer if one has been made at this juncture. Miss Grace, what is the reset date?
January 26th, 25th, I'm sorry, January 25th.
Okay, January the 25th. That's our SAP reset date. I want to also begin by reminding everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being live streamed as well as recorded on YouTube. Govern yourselves accordingly. And the defendants on this calendar, you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to representation. You should know who your attorneys are at this point. And you also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, circumstances, or the occurrence of your case can and will be used against you. The state is here and they're listening. All right. The first case we have is position 1524 CR 000344G, Kenneth Wright. Pretrial.
I'm sorry, position number 16, Louis Wright.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Let me get it straight. Sorry, deputies. We've got some similar names. I'm sorry. 24, position 16, 24 CR 000341J, Louis Alexander Wright. Is that who we have before us?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce and pedestrian in the roadway. Pre-trial.
15 total. On probation for robbery. He got a 2022 possession of marijuana, no low. 2022 fleeing an officer driving without a valid license. This is level 3.
All right. Stay.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
This incident happened on the 12th of January of this year on Brothers Street in Fulton County, Georgia. On that particular date, Officer Romero observed two black males cross the roadway in front of a white sedan that was moving. The officer stopped them, and this particular defendant, when he was searched, there was 21.3 grams of marijuana. And that is the basis for the charge, for both the charges, him walking in front of the car and then having the marijuana. He currently has no bond. The state's recommendation would be to give a signature bond on both counts. No drugs, of course, is part of the condition, and the amount the state would leave up to the court.
All right. Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My
Mhm.
client is 35 years old and he has 6 minor children that he takes care of. He is married, he tells me, and he is self-employed. So, of course, we have no objection to the signature bond through the jail.
All right. I am going to order a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. That will be 1,500 on each charge. And with that signature bond, there'll be no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that's it. There's no stay away, no victims,
No, Your Honor.
no other conditions. All right. That
Your
concludes
Honor.
this case, huh?
Yes, and it concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, deputies, we'll go back to your order.
All right, next case, position 3.
Okay. This is 24 CR 0000324B, Daquay Davis, charging 1 count criminal trespass, pretrial.
Second adult arrest. I got 2015 simple assault out of New Jersey. Appears to be homeless, level 2.
All right.
Good
State.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brief facts of the case is that on January 11, 2024, the officer responded to the Greyhound bus station located at 232 Forsyth Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a criminal trespass call. The officer observed a verbal dispute between the bus driver and the defendant. The bus driver refused services to the defendant and asked him to grab his bag and take him off the bus and leave. The defendant refused, continued to argue with the bus driver. The officer asked the defendant to back away so that he could speak with him. The defendant backed away and then approached the driver again and tapped the driver on his arms and repeatedly began to question him. The officer got in between the defendant and the driver and physically pulled him away. He gave him multiple opportunities to leave the property, but the defendant refused. The recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a stay away from the Greyhound bus station.
All right. PD Abden.
No objection, Your Honor. We would accept the state's recommendation.
All right. I'm gonna make that a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Mr. Davis, you're to stay away from the Greyhound bus station. Do not go back there under any circumstances. If you do, you'll be rearrested. No drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond. And that'll be it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ACDC.
ACDC.
Position number 4. Franklin.
This is 24 CR 0000335C, Ebony Franklin. Charge of 1 count of simple battery family violence, pretrial.
Second arrest, 05 arson, 1st degree.
All right, state.
Yeah, extremely brief facts is that the defendant struck her daughter, who is a juvenile, initials S and T, in the face. That incident location was 3104 Desert Drive in East Point. The recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Dare I say, no further violent contact, and the completion of an anger management course.
How old is the victim?
17.
17, yeah.
And no further violent contact, and they're going to go back home to live together. This offense dates 10/3/11.
Well, I would
So
like
Judge,
to
I
separate.
can speak to that. Go ahead.
Okay.
So my client's 41. She's born in Georgia, lived here her whole life. She's gainfully employed. She's a case manager for a personal injury attorney. My client was actually the one who called the police because her daughter was acting belligerent. She does have a history of misbehaving, Judge. And when the police arrived, the incident was still ongoing, and my client had to defend herself, and the police arrested her. This was a misunderstanding. My client also has a 15-year-old son who would not have anyone to take care of him if she remained in jail. And her husband is out on business at this time. And so I am asking you to please accept the state's recommendation for a signature bond through the jail. No further violent contact. It's my understanding that the 17-year-old might be staying with her cousin. So they're trying to find a way to mitigate the issues they've been having at home. But as I stated, this was a misunderstanding, Judge, and my client would really like to return home, get this sorted out, and be there for her other child.
Okay. And I hope so. I want to make sure there's been a decent or reasonable cooling down period, and that I'm not sending mom back home to the same confusion, and that the daughter, I wish I could order them to get some counseling or help, but hopefully they will do that. I will order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. I will order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond, and no further violent contact with the victim, ST. And that's all I order at this time.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Position number 11 and 12, Walding.
Good morning, Your Honor. My volume was on silent when you first came on the bench, so I apologize.
Okay, no worries.
I keep it off because when I'm in court and I forget it's off, so.
All right. 11 and 12, let's see, 24 CR 000-337A, Colby, is it Walding, charged at 1 count of criminal trespass. And then position 12, 24 CR 000-338A, he's charged at 1 count of theft by taking. Pre-trial?
7 total. I think he has a fugitive hold. Last arrest was back in November, simple battery against police. 2023 theft conviction. 2022 theft of it says taking of a motor vehicle. 2020 disorderly conduct, trespass conviction. 2020 failure to appear. 2020 obscene telecommunication / electronic communication conviction. That's it. I think he's residentially changed
Okay.
out of Mississippi.
And I was going to say, where's the hold from?
Mississippi Department of Corrections.
Mississippi as well. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right.
Basically, he is from Mississippi. All of his contacts and family are from Mississippi, Your Honor. Given these 2 charges, we would ask the court to give him a signature bond on both counts so that he may go back to Mississippi. I think he has bigger fish to fry there.
Judge, would the court allow the state to go ahead and put the facts on the records?
I apologize. I'm so sorry. You're right. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay. No, you're just trying to hurry up and get him on out of there.
I know, right? and we're gonna blame it this Saturday. But go ahead, State. No worries.
This occurred on the 12th of January of 2024 at 900 Hemp Hill Avenue, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, at one of the Georgia Tech, I believe, residence halls. On that particular date, this defendant had returned to that location after already being warned on November 27th of 2023 not to return to that address. Once the defendant arrived there, he asked someone for entry into the office so that he can get some coffee. He was let in to get the coffee. Later on, very shortly after that, one of the gentlemen that worked there realized there were some missing keys to a truck, and they were able to stop the defendant. The defendant was taken into custody due to the criminal trespass, and when searched, they did find the key to that particular truck in his pocket. That's where we get the criminal trespass and the theft of the key. It was to the college property, a Ford truck. His current bond on both charges, I believe, is $2,500 surety. We're asking that his bonds remain the same, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. And of course, to stay away.
I have on the 338A 11124, and then on the other case, the criminal trespass 11/27/23. They have two different incident dates, or
Judge, the criminal trespass, I might have to go back through and check those accusations, because the criminal trespass, there was one on November 27th, but this one occurred, that's when he received his warning on that date, but the actual incident occurred on the from the 11th to the 12th.
okay, the theft case is 111, and so the criminal trespass, I guess, started on the 27th. Okay. Well, I am concerned if he's got this fugitive hold in Mississippi. I would like to change it to a signature bond so that he can go on to Mississippi and get his matter straight there. So I'll turn it around to 2,500 on the first case, position 11, 2,500 signature bond through the jail to be picked up by Mississippi. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess, again, the stay away is from Georgia Tech campus. And on the second case, position 12, I will turn that around to a $2,500 signature bond through the jail to be released to Mississippi. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And of course, again, to stay away from Georgia Tech.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Position number 15.
This is 24 CR 000344G, Kenneth Wright, charged with 1 count of hit and run, 2nd count driving while license suspended or revoked, expired or no registration or title, and following too close. Pretrial?
6 total. 2014 FTA, 2012 suspended license, 2011 suspended license. That's all.
Okay. Date?
Judge, this case occurred on January 12th, 2024 at the location of Piedmont Road and Main Street, Fulton County, Georgia. They're about on that. Actually, I'm sorry, Judge, if my make was, it's actually occurred on 12/19/2023. I apologize. At the intersection of Piedmont Road and Main Street, there was an accident that occurred involving 3 vehicles, and driver 2 of the vehicles stated that they were in the furthest lane traveling southbound when he abruptly stopped due to someone jumping out in the roadway. Once that occurred, he was hit by driver 2 in the rear, and driver 1 in the rear, and driver 2 had damage to the rear of the vehicle. Driver 3 stated that she was traveling in the furthest lane and that vehicle 1 struck vehicle 2, causing her to strike another vehicle. The car's vehicle 3 was towed due to the damage, and upon initial investigation, driver 1, who is this defendant, was no longer on the scene. That's where the hit and run is coming from. Security guards from the area indicated that the defendant had left the scene and that had possibly hopped into an Uber. They were finally able to identify this defendant, and so therefore he's charged with the hit and run and the following too close. And once they identified the defendant, they realized that he had no license or that his license was revoked or suspended, and that the registration on that car had been expired. The court
Okay.
is, the state is asking for, I believe he has no current bond. The state is asking for on a hit and run, a $2,000 surety bond. On the driving while license suspended, $500 surety bond, expired registration, signature bond, with the conditions in amount up to the court, and with the following two close, SOB with the conditions in amount up to the court. And lastly, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and of course, no driving.
What do you have as the offense date?
Judge, per the report, it indicates that it occurred. Sorry, Judge, let me go back up to this particular case. It occurred on December 19th of 2023.
Okay, because again, this is like the other case. That's not the date we have on the calendar of January the 12th.
Judge, I'm gonna have to go back through and look at that one for the particular date. I may have to amend that that accusation date.
Mhm.
But the police report definitely indicates that it was on the 19th of December in 2023.
Okay. PD Melnick?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe.
Actually, Judge,
Mhm.
Ms. Melnick, my name is Attorney Brandon Lewis, and I represent Mr. Wright. I apologize, Ms. Melnick.
Oh, no problem. Take over.
Yes, okay. All right, Attorney Lewis. Have you entered your
Good
appearance
afternoon,
yet?
Judge.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am of counsel with Randy Williams, and Mr. Williams has entered an entry of appearance.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Judge, the discrepancy in the date, I'm not completely sure what the issue is. I believe that when he was actually pulled over for a separate offense, and that may reflect why there are two separate dates, that the warrant originally went out for the hit and run, and then he was subsequently arrested on a separate offense. That may be the discrepancy. But Judge, essentially, we're asking if the court will consider a signature bond on all of the matters. My client is 35 years old. He has two very small children, 5 and 6. He's resided in Georgia his entire life. He's from Georgia. He went to Georgia State. His address is 3648 Peachtree Road. He works at Ganesco, which is a company that provides CLEs for nurses. Mother, sister, all of his contacts remain within Georgia, Judge. So there is absolutely no issue with him returning back to court, Your Honor.
Okay. And so I think I heard he had a suspended license 2012, 2011, maybe, and then an FTA from 2014. On the, let's see, the hit and run, I will give him a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. License suspension, 500 signature bond through the jail. Expired tag, 500 through the jail. And falling too close, 500 SOB jail. So that's one, what is that, 3,500? Miss Grace, you check my math. I think it's 3,500.
Yes, ma'am, it's correct.
All right, 3,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order that he not drive. He should not drive unless he has a valid driver's license through DDS. Looks like he does not. So he should not be driving. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that's going to be it. Anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you,
thank
Judge.
you. All right, thanks.
Your Honor,
May I be excused?
Oh, yes, you may. Thank you.
And Your Honor, at the court's convenience, I do need to, the interpreter's help to speak to position number 10.
Okay. You put them in a breakout.
Position number 1.
Okay. Right, this is 24 CR 000-334H. Kyle, is it Clog? Charged with 6 counts. 1 count of reckless driving, 2nd count possession of open alcohol container, failure to maintain lane, DUI less safe, DUI under the influence per se, and speeding, all with the offensive date of January the 12th. Free trial.
8th arrest. He don't have any driving arrest history.
Okay.
2010 shoplifting. This was level 2.
Your Honor,
Alright,
brief facts of the case or the indicia for the case is that the defendant drove 25 miles over the posted speed limit, which would have been 80 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone on I-75 southbound and Riverdale. The defendant failed to maintain his lane in doing so. The defendant also had an open bottle of Tito's vodka in the front right passenger seat. And lastly, the defendant failed a field sobriety test and blew a blood alcohol content level of 0.166, which, as we know, is double the legal limit of 0.08. Given that, Your Honor, in his 15 cycles, thank you. Given that in his 15 cycles, the request from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no driving.
all right. Pediatric.
No objection to the signature bond, Judge. We would ask that that be through the jail. He is a resident of Chicago. So I think following up with pretrial would be difficult as he does not reside here. However, he does understand his obligation to return to court. We have a valid address for him, and he does qualify for our services. So we will be contacting him and representing him moving forward. He also has seasonal employment, so he would not have any money to pay bond. And he does have a girlfriend who's 8 months pregnant, who he needs to return home to. So I do understand he does have a history, but he does not have any prior driving offenses. He does not have any prior FTAs, and the recommendation is release at level 2. So if Your Honor is inclined, we are asking for a signature bond through the jail.
Okay.
And I just want to note that he could have the call-in option and he could still go on pretrial. He does have 15 arrests.
And we would not object to that so long as he would be able to do that, Judge.
Okay. I think I'm going to order that signature bond through pretrial, even though it's level 2, but allow him to call in. So let me give the amount. On the reckless driving, it's 500 SOB. Possession of an open container, 250 SOB. Failure to maintain lane, 250 SOB. DUI less safe, 1,000. DUI per se, 1,000. And speeding, 500. So let me add this up. 2, 3. Is it 3,500?
I'm really bad at math, Judge.
I know, I'm making sure Miss Grace is supposed to be my math backup. I think it's 3,500.
It is, Judge.
Thank you.
It is. I just did the math as well.
All right, 3,500 SOB through pretrial, call in, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond, and obviously no driving. I don't know. I think he should have had his license. You all don't take
No, hold on. Brandon, did you get a history? I got
Did
him
we give a
confused.
history?
You know what? I got him confused with Allen, but I don't see Allen on here. So that was my bad.
oh, so that's not his history.
Yeah, let me back. Let me back up.
My records indicate that he has 15 arrests. So it wasn't based on anything that you said about Allen,
Yeah.
but my record does
Well, he
indicate.
got 13 adult.
Okay.
He is a resident of Illinois on probation in Cook County for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon / vehicle. 2020 DUI conviction. That's all. But it was still level 2.
Okay,
Let me clear that.
gotcha. Thank you for that. All right, I will still give the 3,500 SOB pretrial so we can keep up with him. He can call in. And no driving unless he has a valid driver's license, I guess, from Illinois. And that will be it.
Position,
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Judge, so since it's a call-in option, is there a level that we put down just for our records?
Do we pre-trial? Do I still say level 2 or level 1?
2. He got called twice a month.
Oh,
Okay,
call
two.
twice a month, so it's level 2. Okay,
Yeah, level 2. Thank you.
thank you.
We could even interpret the case.
I'm sorry?
Position 10, the interpret the case.
Can't hear you.
number 10, the interpreter case.
Oh, number 10. Okay, thank you. This is Madam Interpreter, I swear you in. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Do you affirm that the interpretations that you will provide today, that you will interpret from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, the proceedings before the court today in an accurate manner with no embellishments to the best of your abilities?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is 24 CR 000-333J.
Este es el caso 24 CR 000-333J.
Mr. Pedraza Delgado is
El señor Pedraza Delgado, que tiene cargos,
charged at 1 count of battery family violence.
un
And
cargo de golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar,
and a 2nd count of criminal trespass, criminal damage to property.
y el segundo cargo por allanamiento de morada con destrucción de propiedad.
Pre-trial.
Los servicios previos al juicio, por favor.
Third arrest, 2021 DUI, driving without a valid license.
Ese es el tercer arresto por manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol en el 2021.
You got an open battery DV, 22 CR 002-813J. That's all.
También tiene otro caso, el número 22CR 002-813J.
All right, state.
Fiscalía.
Yes, the date of this incident was October 13th, 2023,
El incidente ocurrió el 13 de octubre del 2023
at the location of 1470 Raintree Drive.
Esto ocurrió en el 1470 Portree Ride.
Raintree
Oh, Raintree Road.
Drive.
Oh, Drive.
And that's apartment C, Roswell, Fulton County.
Y esto ocurrió en Roswell, el condado de Fulton.
The police responded to that location and spoke with the victim, Jennifer Perez.
La policía respondió a el domicilio en donde habló con la víctima, Jennifer Perez.
And the officer observed that she was standing in front of a door that had been completely ripped off the hinges and detached from the wall.
Y la policía observó que estaba parada enfrente de una puerta que había sido arrancada de las bisagras y de la pared.
The victim stated that the defendant arrived at that location and confronted her about her having a ex-boyfriend's number in her phone.
One moment, please. La víctima explicó que el acusado había llegado y la había confrontado por tener ella el número de teléfono de un exnovio.
During that confrontation, the defendant punched the victim in the eye with a closed fist and started pulling her hair.
Durante esta confrontación, el acusado le dio un bofetazo y también le tiró su cabello.
The defendant left that location and returned later that day, and that is when he broke the door down.
El acusado se fue después de ese momento y regresó, y fue entonces cuando ocurrió lo del arranque de la puerta.
The victim in this case also advised that the defendant and she had been living together for 2 years and currently reside at that address.
La víctima dijo también que habían estado viviendo juntos en ese domicilio por alrededor de 2 años.
Those are the incidents that lead to the battery, family violence, and a criminal trespass, damage to property.
Y eso fue lo que llevó a que se le alegaran con dos cargos por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar y el allanamiento de morada con destrucción de propiedad.
And if we could sound for the victim, just in case she's on the Zoom, Jennifer Perez.
Señora o señorita Jennifer Pérez, ¿está usted en la plataforma? Jennifer Pérez. Por favor, prenda su micrófono.
Having heard no response, the state will continue with their recommendation.
Al encontrar que no hay ninguna respuesta, la Fiscalía quiere continuar con la recomendación.
At this present time, the defendant has no bond, and the state is requesting on the battery, family violence.
En este momento, el acusado no tiene fianza establecida, y en el primer cargo de golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar, se recomienda
a $3,000 surety bond.
Una fianza de $3,000 bajo garantía.
With no contact with the victim.
Sin tener contacto alguno con la víctima.
And stay away from the location where the incident occurred.
Y mantenerse distanciado del domicilio donde ocurrió el incidente.
And if they share a child, a third-party transfer of that child.
Y si ellos tienen un hijo juntos, que se establezca una tercera parte o persona que transporte a la criatura entre ambos.
No weapons, no alcohol, and no drugs.
Queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas durante el tiempo bajo fianza.
And anger management class.
Y debe tomar una clase de manejo de la ira.
On the criminal trespass, the state is asking for a $1,000 surety bond.
Y en el cargo de allanamiento de morada, la Fiscalía pide una fianza bajo garantía de $1,000.
Nothing further from the state.
Nada más de parte de la Fiscalía.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I ask?
Yes, PD Melnick. I was looking for PD Admin. Go ahead.
May I please ask the state if they had spoken to the complaining witness today?
Quisiera saber si la Fiscalía han hablado con la testigo hoy.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
No.
Your Honor, this incident occurred on October the 13th of 2023. If you look at Odyssey.
Este incidente ocurrió el 13 de octubre del 2023.
Yeah. You'll see that my client now lives at 334 Larkspur Drive in Calhoun.
Como verá, mi cliente vive en el 334 de Larkspur. I'm sorry, Larkspur.
Larkspur. Larkspur.
Oh, it is Driver Road.
Drive.
En el 334 Larkspur Drive in Calhoun, Georgia.
He's gainfully employed and works at BP Steel Electron.
Él está empleado y trabaja en BP Steel Electron.
My client states to me that he has had no contact since he's moved to Calhoun with this person.
Y debido a que él se ha mudado a Calhoun, él me ha explicado que no tiene ningún tipo de contacto con esta otra persona.
And therefore, Your Honor, we are asking for a $5,000 signature bond.
Y por eso pedimos que se le otorgue una fianza de $5,000 bajo firma.
Okay.
Judge, the state is still asking for the remaining conditions. I'm not sure if the defense was requesting for that to be the only thing. If that is what the defense is asking for, I would at least ask the court for the no weapons and anger management. I understand he resides somewhere else, but he still carries that same disposition with him wherever he goes. So we would still ask for the anger management.
I have no objection. I had no objection to that. I just assumed it would be on. I was looking at the number. I'm looking at the dollar signs.
Quisiera yo pedir que no sé si la abogada de la defensa lo quiso significar de esa manera, pero quiero que permanezcan las condiciones que la fiscalía ha solicitado, que quede prohibido el uso de armas, drogas y alcohol y que tome una clase de manejo de la ira. La abogada de la defensa no tiene objeción.
And we have a good address for Calhoun, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. It's the 337 Larkspur Drive.
All right, I will order a
Ordenaré
$4,000 signature bond through the jail.
una fianza de $4,000 bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
$3,000 on the battery.
$3,000 por los golpes y lesión, el cargo de golpes y lesiones,
And $1,000 on the criminal trespass.
y $1,000 por el cargo de allanamiento de morada.
I thought there were two charges.
Oh, 3,000 on the battery, 1,000 on the criminal trespass. Is a total of 4.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Math. not my
And
game.
4,000 SOB jail. Do we need to say a stay away from 1470 Raintree Drive?
That would not be an issue.
Okay. And no further contact with the victim, Jennifer Perez.
No debe tener ningún contacto más con Jennifer Perez, de ningún tipo.
All right. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
And I think that's it. Anything else that I leave out, counsel?
Creo que eso es todo. ¿Algo más? ¿Alguno de los abogados?
I don't believe so, Judge.
No creo, su señoría.
All right, that'll conclude this case.
Esto concluye este caso, entonces.
Oh, I apologize, Judge. Did you say anger management?
Oh, perdón,
No,
señor.
not unless they go through pretrial, because I don't know if
Okay.
they have he has the means to pay for it, so I won't order that at this time.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, ok. Gracias.
And
Okay.
Judge, I think that the jail wants to put me in a breakout room to speak with Holmes.
Okay.
May the interpreter be dismissed, Your Honor?
Oh, yeah, is that it for, we don't have any more interpreter cases,
I
correct?
believe so.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
You're
Take
welcome,
care.
Your Honor. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Position number 14, Ms. Wilson.
is my case? Okay.
This is 24 CR 0000345A. And this is Quantavious Wilson. Charged at 1 count of driving hit and run. 2nd count failure to obey stop sign. 3rd count obscure and missing license plate. 4th count driving while license suspended or revoked. Pretrial.
18 total. Was arrested 3 days ago. Suspended license. Got an open possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and marijuana in Superior Court. It's 23 CP 216647. This is suspended license from the other day that came out of Clayton County. A couple of probation violations in his history. 2018 suspended license. 2016 ag assault. It was reduced to simple assault, discharging a firearm conviction. And the 08 ag assault and burglary. That's it.
Okay, state.
This incident occurred on February 12th of 2022, near 183 Mount Zion Road in Atlanta, Georgia. I apologize. I'm sorry, I meant to say in Fulton County. And on that particular date, the victim is Lakeisha Allison, indicated to the responding officer that the defendant ran a red light and struck her car. The defendant, once they got out of the cars, the defendant stated that he did not want to wait for the police to come out and he left the location. The victim was in a car with, I believe, 2 other passengers, at least 2 other passengers. There was damage to the driver's side, rear, and front door. And that's in reference to the hit and run and the failure to stop, in reference to the obstructive license plate and the driving while license suspended. When the officers were able to determine who the person was, they were able to determine that his license had already been suspended and that his license plate was obscured. The current bond is none. The state is asking for, on the hit and run, a $2,000 surety bond. For the failing to stop, a $500 surety bond. For the obstructed license plate, a signature bond at the court's amount and conditions. And driving while license suspended, a $500 surety bond. This is not the first time he's had that charge. He had a conviction back in 2018 for that charge. We're asking for no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and we're also asking for no driving, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened approximately 2 years ago, back in February 12th, 2022. There is a question of ID, and my client he was previously working at the City of Atlanta Parks and Recreation. He was doing maintenance on the yards. Given that, we are asking for a signature bond on all these counts. He has lived in Atlanta, or he's lived in Georgia his entire life.
Good. And he's how old again? PD Mounted?
He is 39 years of age. He lives with his mom and girlfriend.
Okay.
He has a GED from DeKalb Technical College, and he was, like I said, he worked for the City of Atlanta.
I'm going to order a signature bond through the jail on the driving hit and run, $1,000, failure to obey stop signs, 500, obscured or missing tag, 250, and driving while license suspended or revoked, 500. So that looks like 2,250. If my math serves me correct.
That looks right to me.
All right. So that'll be a $2,250 surety. I'm sorry. signature bond, 2,250 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And no driving unless you have a valid driver's license by Georgia DMV. Okay, is that it?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, counsel? I think that's it.
That's it, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right, that's it.
Everyone else we have in courtroom, two belongs to Alvin, so she's put in the breakout.
Oh, okay, so wait a second.
Oh, we are waiting, Your Honor.
Huh?
I am going to ask position number 9, Kalesna McCrary, and number 13, Craig Washington. Can we reset them till Monday? They may have mental health issues, but we just want to see if they're a little bit more stable on Monday, so we can speak with them appropriately.
Okay, so number 9, McCurry, reset till Monday, January the 15th. And what was the other one?
Craig Washington, position number 13.
Oh, okay. And 13, reset to Monday, 1:15.
Right.
Okay.
And Ms. Wolf and Judge, you'll appreciate this. I was in a class recently, this given to a bunch of attorneys, and they asked us a simple math question. Not one of us could get it. He's like, "You're attorney in math."
That's
I
right.
can argue about it, but I cannot.
Nah. And I don't know why I don't get out my calculator, but it's trying to do it and counting on my fingers.
I can't count over 10 when I'm wearing shoes.
She's position number 7, Sergeant Glanton, Ms. Holmes, position number 7.
Okay. Is that your case, PD Melnick?
That's Miss Alvin's case. They
Yes,
hasn't come in yet.
Sorry, I lost connection. I just got back on.
Oh, okay. We
And
ready?
what position is this?
7.
7? Thank you.
Shell Holmes. 24 CR 0003434.
Yeah, so I was in the middle of speaking with Holmes. We got disconnected. I wanted
Mhm.
to possibly waive her appearance.
Okay.
If I could just please be put back in a breakout room real quick, just to confirm.
Jail iPhone court is no longer on the Zoom. They're coming in now. Hold on.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, while we wait, is there some way that PD Melnick, yourself, and the other ASG can be put in a breakout room to address the pad cases. I just want to ensure that they got out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, excuse me, but they were still here today, so we was told that if they not out by today, they won't get out until Tuesday because Monday is a holiday.
Exactly. We want them out. And so
Yeah, Miss Grace, did you get them?
Yes, ma'am, and I spoke with Miss Abnam, so we can speak in a breakout like Mr. Pierre Thomas is asking and see what you guys would like to do with these cases. But I spoke
Okay.
with Miss Abnam about them. Okay.
And I know, everyone, I know it's Saturday, but I think Ms. Abden has more information than I do. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just wanted
I
somebody
know
from
she
the
said,
office, but
yeah, she told me that she's tried to reach out to PAD, but they are closing because those bond orders have to be redone.
Oh,
So yes.
I think we can still do it with you. I think I just need a representative from your office.
We can try. I'll,
Yeah.
That's fine by me, but we, so we can speak with Ms. Abner.
I guess we'll have to wait till she gets back.
No, I think we can still have the breakout. I don't need
Okay.
I don't need her. It's
Okay,
something.
well, Miss
Yeah.
Champion, put us in a breakout. You want Miss Wolf in there with you?
Yes, please.
Ms. Abden, I'm gonna put you in the breakout room with the judge. They're discussing the pad cases that you talked to Miss Grace about earlier.
I was on mute. Sorry. I meant to say yes, please. Thank you.
All right, deputies, who we have?
Position 2, cook.
Okay. This is 24 CR 0000336C. Devontae Cook, charged with 1 count of terroristic threats and acts. Pre-trial.
6 total, 2023. He got obstruction, entering auto out of Douglas County. 2021 fade to appear, 2019 expired license conviction. This is level 3.
Okay.
Your Honor, the facts of this case is that on September 20th, 2023, the officer arrived on scene regarding a dispute at 718 Quaker Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. The officer interviewed the victim, who advised the defendant threatened her. The victim was able to show the officer a threatening message that read, "I will do something to your little girl." And also it read, "I will pull up on everyone in the house until I find that HOE." The little girl he was referring to was the adult daughter of, also known as Jessica Frazier, who had moved to a different location because she was afraid of the defendant. Miss Frazier, the officer spoke to Miss Frazier. She stated that her and the defendant have a child together. She advised the defendant had been making previous threats, and she also stated that she does not want the defendant in her life, nor in their child's life, and that she's made very upset by the defendant. Our office has been able to get in contact with the victim, who advised that she unfortunately will not be on the Zoom today, but we will still sound for her. She states that the defendant is her ex-boyfriend. She confirmed they have the daughter together. And she's approximately a year and a half, and they share a 2-year-old. So let me correct that. They were together for 2.5 years. A year and a half. They share a 2-year-old son. The victim stated that she has problems with the defendant, and she's been having those problems throughout the relationship. She stated that he hit her daughter. The victim stated that I see what it is. This is the grandmother of the actual daughter. She stated that he hit her daughter, the Jessica person, threatened more people in the household more than once. Victim stated that her daughter does have a TPO against him that may attempt to renew it. She states that she's afraid of the defendant and that they've moved. They want a no contact. They essentially want a stay away, but they don't want to provide the address because they don't want the defendant knowing the new address. The recommendation is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact, and the completion of an anger management course.
All right. PD
Judge, I believe that we have Miss Frazier on the line. I did send her the Zoom link after speaking with her. So if the court would like to hear from her, I will let her go first and then be heard on bond.
All right, Ms. Frazier, would you like to address the court today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Are you in fear of Mr. Cook?
No.
Okay, do you want to have any contact with Mr. Cook?
We have recently been having a co-parent relationship with me and his dad, actually. I know the incident happened, but prior to that happening, we had no contact for months, and it actually built our co-parent relationship better. I'm not gonna lie. So he has been getting his son. He's been doing right by him, and we've been having a good co-parenting, no non-violent relationship. It just we meet up. We don't, and he doesn't know where I reside right now, because I do respect my mother's wishes. But by us having a co-parent relationship, it ain't been nothing terroristic towards me nor the house. But back in 2023, that is when that happened.
And Your Honor, the testimony by Miss Frazier is in opposite to the state's request. She is not the listed victim. The victim does still require a request, a no contact. But I don't think that anything that she said is kind of controverted to the state's request.
Right.
Yeah, I can say, yeah, that was my mother. And I can say, like, I wouldn't I wouldn't feel no type of way if she had a no contact with her, but he is the father of my child, and we have been having a good, and she known this. Like, he been getting his son, he just had him for his birthday and Christmas. So it's like no contact with me or our son. She cannot speak for me because he has been helping out a lot. While I go to work, he get him on weekends. I'm speaking for myself and for my son. It haven't been violent. We kept it co-parent. We kept it actually good for the child. I'm not gonna lie. If it was something there that I need to tell, I would tell it. But it isn't. We both just been doing our own thing and making sure we put Braylon first. That's all.
Okay,
And
but the issue may be with your mom.
yeah,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Judge, the reason I had Miss Frazier come on is from the way that I read the warrant affidavit, the threat was against Miss Frazier, and her mother was the one who was making the complaint to the police. And so if anybody was allegedly in danger, it would be her. And I just wanted to make sure that my client could continue to have no further violent contact with her, because as you've heard, they're co-parenting, and he's been essential to the child and taking care of him and all of that.
And the state would just request if the court is amenable to that, that it at least be no further violent contact with Ms. Frazier, as she's the subject.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't object to that at all.
Okay.
He
Mhm.
doesn't, we haven't even, I don't know where he stay. He doesn't know where I stay. We meet up with when it's time to get Braylon. It's no violent. I can honestly say, like, he doing good. I ain't even gonna lie, like,
Mhm.
it's been
And
okay.
just for the record, I just wanted to state that my client does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. But as I've said, I just wanted her to get on just to make sure that they can continue co-parenting. We don't object to a signature bond, prefer that it be through the jail, of course, but if your honor is not inclined, then a pretrial signature bond would be okay as well. Just as long as he can continue co-parenting, that was our biggest concern.
Okay. All right. I will order a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. And I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I'm going to order him. Now, the 718 Quaker Street, do you live there too, Miss Frazier?
Oh no, we've
Okay.
been,
That's
my
where
mom,
your mom
my
lived there.
no, we've been moved. He
Oh.
doesn't know where we currently reside. Like I stated, we currently meet up to get the child. We don't know where each other live. We keep it strictly about the child.
Good. Okay, that is good. And so I'm just going to ask him to have no further violent contact with your mom or with you, so that you can still meet up and co-parent, and no drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while he's on bond. Okay.
Okay.
And that's what I'll order at this time.
All right.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
All
And
right.
thank you, Ms. Frazier, for getting on.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
Excuse me,
Have a
Judge,
nice
so
day.
we're taking the stairway away,
Right, take the stay away. Mhm.
and it's no further violent contact with the actual victim, Ms. Tamika Boyce.
No
Right.
contact. No contact.
I'm sorry, she's no further contact. And Jessica Frazier, I'll just add her and say no violent contact, since they're doing the visitation with the child. Even though she's not the victim on the case, but I would like to just put that in there to give her a little bit of protection as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Frazier.
All right. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Position 5.
It's 24 CR 000-305G. Rodney Glover, charged with unlawful possession, display, or use of any false, fraudulent, altered identification document. Pretrial?
I'm gonna defer to the state. I think he may have a Florida history, but the file I have, nothing came back.
He's from
Okay.
Florida.
Okay.
Okay. I have that this is his first arrest. That could be incorrect, but I don't think it's going to affect the state's recommendation in this case because of the nature of the charges. But the brief facts is that on January 10th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on where the defendant was a passenger in the passenger seat. During the search of the vehicle, the officer was able to recover 7 grams of marijuana, a firearm, and 3 fake IDs. The fake IDs were located under the floorboard of the driver's side of the vehicle. However, the fraudulent IDs had the picture of the passenger. The Pennsylvania ID belonged to a male named William Leroy Matowski. The other fraudulent ID cards, you could easily see that they were fake due to the lamination on the cards, and that the lamination on the cards were poorly cut and they were not properly completed officially. The recommendation from the state in this case is a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay. Did he
And
add?
no objection, Judge. He does reside in Florida. He will be returning here for court. I just want to make sure that we set a bond on the possession of marijuana. It's not on, is it null prost?
I think it was null prost.
I just want to make sure so he
Okay.
doesn't get stuck.
I'm amenable to a signature bond through the pretrial services if it's still in the system as well, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to
Through the jail.
trust that he will be back. I don't know that I want to put it through pre-trial. I'm gonna do 2,500 through the jail.
Thank you.
No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that's it.
Number 6.
It says 24 CR 0000339E. And this is Mr. Ronald Hart, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
First, level 1.
Okay.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that on January 12, 2024, the officer was dispatched to the residential home located at 628 Garibaldi Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, here in Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a dispute call. They arrived and they spoke with Miss Dariana Corbin, who is the aunt of the individuals involved. She advised that her 2 nephews, the defendant and the victim, were in a verbal dispute earlier that day that turned physical. The defendant himself confirmed that he and his younger brother were in a verbal dispute in the kitchen. The defendant stated that a pushing match started due to the victim running off at the mouth. The defendant admitted to hitting his younger brother during the second altercation. The victim advised that the defendant stood outside his bedroom door and pushed the door onto him 3 times while he stood inside of it. After pushing the door into him, the victim stated that the defendant further reached around the bedroom door and slapped him in the face and then pushed his head into the bedroom wall. The victim sustained a knot to the left side of his forehead. Our office has been able to get in contact with Miss Reginald Weems. Has been able to get in contact with the mother of the juvenile victim. My apologies. She's Miss
Shaquila Frazier, I'm here.
Shaquila Frazier. Well, since she's
Reginald Weems is here
we'll
too.
allow for her to sound and explain the situation, Your Honor. But the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no violent contact, and the completion of an anger management course and a stay away from that incident location. And I think at this time we could hear from Ms. Frazier, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, we
Hold on,
definitely
Miss Frazier. Miss Frazier.
Yes,
Hold on
ma'am.
one quick second.
Sorry.
If you wish to address the court today, I'm going to need to swear you in first.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you want to address the court today?
Good evening. Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Are you in fear of Mr. Hart?
No, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Do you want to have any contact with Mr. Hart?
Yes, he's fine to come back to the residence too. I also have my son here who has no fear of Ronald either.
Okay, this incident happened on the 12th.
Yes, it really happened because I was at work.
So are you the victim in the case or is your son?
My son, him and my son were fighting.
The son is a juvenile, Your Honor.
Okay,
And
what are his initials?
the initials are R and M.
RN.
W.
RW.
RW.
How old is he?
15.
And you're sure that they're cooled down and that because it's barely been 24
Reginald
hours.
is here also if you wanted to speak with him.
I usually don't because he's a minor, but he is 15. I just want to make sure that he's going to be safe. He's not in fear.
No, ma'am, not from my talk with him when I got home about the incident.
And Judge, it's my understanding that there's also another place that my client can stay, just in the interim, if Your Honor would feel more comfortable. But again, as you've heard from Ms. Frazier, it has cooled down. And from speaking with my client, this was just, a fight between two brothers. He does deny the allegations as stated, and does want to return home. It sounds like his family, including his brother, wants him to return home. But if it would make Your Honor feel more comfortable, he does have somewhere else to stay.
Yes, if the defendant would voluntarily give it, I don't know, 48 hours, 2 days to stay away before going back, I would feel better with that just to make sure.
No
that
objection to that.
Everything is cooled down.
That's
All
fine.
right. So I will give a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. I'm gonna order him to take the 1-day anger awareness course that's free. He's level 1. Is he working?
I know he actually is about to go back to school, college. He just submitted his residence documents. He's going to go to Atlanta Technical College.
Okay. If he goes back to college, I think he can be a call-in, depending if he's got classes during the day.
He likely will. Is
Okay.
that something we need to address right now for whether he's a call-in or not?
Well, I'll put it in the order.
Thank you.
And then he will stay away from the incident location, the 628 Garibaldi, stay away from there for 48 hours before returning. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Okay, and I think that's it. All right, good luck to you, Ms. Frazier.
Thank you. Good day, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Position 8.
All right, this is 24 CR 0000342C, Kendall Ivory, charged with 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
11 total. 2016 battery dismissed, 2013 simple battery DV, 2009 false imprisonment conviction, level 2.
Our brief facts of the case is on 7/21/2023. The victim advised to the officer that on Wednesday, the 19th of the same month, her husband, the defendant, assaulted her when she came home from church, at which point in time the defendant pushed her and choked her. The victim stated that she was told by her husband if she had gotten the police involved, that he would kill her. The victim had, at the time that the officers spoke with her, the victim had multiple scratch marks on the right on the right of her shoulder, as well as her right eye had swelling. The The victim also had redness around her neck where the defendant had choked her. Our office, unfortunately, has not been able to get in contact with the victim. The victim here is listed as Luz, L-U-Z, Garcia, G-A-R-C-I-A. The incident location is listed as 3323 Ward, W-A-R-D Drive, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. The recommendation from the state, given the history and given the nature of the charges, Your Honor, is a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from that incident location, no contact with Ms. Garcia, and the completion of a family violence intervention program. And if at this time we can sound from Ms. Garcia in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Garcia. I don't think she's here. PD Abden.
Thank you, Judge. So my client is 46 years old. He's lived in Georgia his whole life. Did she freeze? I know. I thought you.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, there it is.
Okay. He has lived in Georgia his whole life. He has children. He has a 5-year-old son, not with the complaining witness, who lives at his residence with him. He also takes care of his elderly mother, and also has a 25-year-old daughter who also lives at the residence. Miss Garcia, it is my understanding that Miss Garcia has moved to New Jersey with my client's 4-year-old child. This is the day after she made the report. My client is firmly denying the allegations, and she does not reside there, Judge. And so if possible, he would like to return home to take care of his elderly mother, his 5-year-old son, who does not have anyone else to take care of him, and be home with them. I do understand that the nature of the allegations are concerning. However, as I've stated, he does firmly deny the allegations. She does not live there anymore, and allegedly it happened in July of last year. And so if Your Honor is inclined to allow him to return home, we can even do it with a one-time law enforcement to just make sure she's not there. But we are requesting a signature bond, and that be through the jail.
All right. I tend to agree with you. It did happen last July. It's been quite a bit of time. But let's do this. Let's do the one-time police escort when you go back, Mr. Ivory, and just to make sure that the victim has vacated the property, that she doesn't live there. The officers would do what they call a sweep of the property and make sure that she's not there.
You have your hand up?
You're gonna tell me something about her?
Yes, ma'am.
About the victim?
So
She bought a house in New Jersey. She doesn't live there. And she never really lived there.
So Mr. Ivory, so the judge has allowed you to go back home, but just with law enforcement to make sure, double check that she's not there. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
So when they get there to sweep, I don't know, hopefully she won't have any belongings there or anything like that that will cause them to believe that, but we just want to be sure that she is safe. So I will give you a $3,000 signature bond through the jail, and then coordinate with law enforcement to meet you back there at the home. Okay, and make sure of that. And I'm just going to say, I was going to put in there no further violent contact, but I don't know if you've had any contact with her since you moved back to New Jersey, have you? Or have you talked to your child?
Yes, every day.
Yeah, they've
every
had
day?
contact.
Okay, so I'm gonna say no further violent contact.
Mhm.
Okay. And no drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while you're on bond.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
How much was that?
3,000 SOB jail. No further violent contact with the victim. And is that it, Melissa?
Your Honor, I hate to say this, but I contacted about the inmates from PAD. I contacted Luana Walsh, who's contacting Mr. Kinner for their office because
Mhm.
if we could just, no one, I know it's Saturday. If we could just wait a few minutes just to see what they say, we'd appreciate it.
Were you able to get Mr. Walker? Mr. Thomas?
No, I even,
Yeah,
Ooh,
Mr. Walker said that it wouldn't, a consent order wouldn't affect the potential for no pros.
he responded to you and not me.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
I know, right?
ASG Thomas, wouldn't it, maybe we should go in a breakout room for this. I don't want
Or
to,
stop the recording. Are we done?
I think we are.
I think we
Can
are.
we go over the calendar real quick and
Yes.
then go
Oh,
in
so
so
you can do
everyone else
that?
can be released?
Yes.
Yes.
Who's Natosha Riley?
Yeah.
She working the jail records. She straight.
Oh, she does.
She writing
Oh,
down the
okay.
information. Yeah.
I got you. Just wanted to make sure that wasn't.
Can we, yeah, cool.
Okay. Go ahead, Miss Grace.
Okay,
Or do you want to wait for smell?
No, I got it.
You got
I
it.
got it.
Okay. Okay.
Position number 1 is a $3,500 pretrial bond. Position number 2 is a 4,000 SOB through the jail. Position 3, 2,000 SOB through the jail. Position 4 is a $2,500 SOB through the jail. Position 6 is a $2,500 SOB through the jail.
Number 5.
Number 5, $2,500 SOB through the jail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got that.
Okay. Number 6, 3,000 pretrial. Number
What was
7,
that contact for number 6?
what's that?
What was the contact for number 6?
So he's 19 and graduated from high school, so I don't know if we need a,
I don't have that. I said it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
never
that
mind.
was the one with the 15-year-old son and the
correct.
mother.
It was
Do you
no
want to have
valid
a cosigner?
No, I said the contact.
contact. It was
No
no valid
contact.
contact.
Okay, thank you.
No further violent contact. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, reset 116 SCA. Number 8, 3,000 SOB through the jail. Number 9, reset 115 SCA. Number 10, 4,000 SOB through the jail. Number 11, 2,500 SOB through the jail. Number 12, 2,500 SOB through the jail. Position 13, reset 115 SCA. Position 14, 2,250 SOB through the jail. Position 15, 3,500 SOB through the jail. And position 16 is a 3,000 SOB through the jail. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
No. So we're
None.